Hey guys, it's DMO73 here bringing you the second deck profile of the day from the match that you saw earlier this week. This is blue, black, red, little red flying werewolves. So our ruler, let's just go ahead and jump right in with our ruler, Little Red Riding Hood. You can J-activate her for 0, but you have to have played a moon addition this turn. This does not mean a moon creature. It has to be like Bloody Moon or Pale Moon or one of the moons that's going to come out in Moon Priestess Return. It can't be a creature, it has to be a field edition. And then you flip her over and she becomes Little Red, the Wolf Girl. I'll go ahead and let you see that a little bit. So first off, she has a huge attack, but a really low defense, 1200, 200. Watch out for thunders is all I can say about that. She has swiftness, so she can act on the turn that she's played. When she enters, she deals 800 damage to target Resonator. That's pretty cool because it's just instant spot removal. And if she survives until the end of the turn, you flip her back over to Little Red the Wolf Girl, or Little Red Riding Hood, and put her back into your ruler zone. So she can kind of keep recycling and staying safe. So she comes out for a turn, wrecks some stuff, and then goes back to be used later. So pretty unique. But also pretty risky because if she gets killed once, then you're just out of luck for the rest of the game. So, moving on to the stones, we run 4 of the Magic Stone of Scorched Bales, that is red, black. Then we run 3 of the Magic Stone of Hearth's Core, that is red, blue. Then we run a Milest, the Ghostly Flamestone, just to be able to do that extra bit of damage. And pump up one of our creatures as needed, and then 2 basic red magic stones. We want to hit red with every single card because red is the main support, obviously. And then beyond that, black is more really important than blue, but the blue is equally important for being able to play some of our draw engine as well as the extra moons. So that's why the distribution is as it is. Let's go ahead and move right into the Resonators, our mini draw engine, because I wanted to play a Were-Rabbit and I was sick and tired of playing Cheshire Cats and everything. Night of the New Moon. Just a simple 1-drop Were-Rabbit, so if you have a Pale Moon it becomes bigger. You can tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. I like this because it helps get dead cards out of your hand and it helps you dig into the deck faster, all while giving you a small jump blocker that can be used if you necessarily don't need it. Then we have the other non-wolf card for this deck, 3 Hunter in Black Forest. Just, again, it's red aggro, so play it, swiftness, it does 300 damage. You can play it on turn 1 and get your early beats in. Pretty important. Moving on to the huge werewolf package, we run 4 Wolf Hunted in Black Forest, 1-drop, 500, 300, and then if you don't control a moon and it dies, you take 500 damage. So it's a pretty risky play, but then again, a lot of stuff early game, if you're playing against like a control build, isn't going to be able to kill it anyway, so it can be pretty powerful, as well as if you get a moon out pretty early, it eliminates the cost and it becomes a 700, 500. So that's pretty awesome. Then we have Moon Knight Pouncer. This guy is a 500, 500. He gets fast attack, swiftness and first strike if you play a normal spell during that turn, meaning that if you play him and then play an addition, or play him then play a thunder, he'll get first strike and swiftness until the end of the turn. So you usually save this guy for like turn 3 when you can play a normal spell with him, at least a thunder, to be able to get him to get in there and get that extra damage. But this guy is a really cool card. Then the real heavy hitter, I think, is Beowulf, the Blazing Wolf. We run 4 of him. 300, 500, so he can take a hit, which is pretty important. If ever he does damage, he actually does double the damage. So if he's swinging into something and does the full 300, he's actually gonna do 600. If he's hitting your opponent for 600 because you've got a couple moons out or something like that, he's actually gonna hit the opponent for 1200. So Beowulf can get really big, really fast, and be a lot of unexpected damage to just win you the game. So that's really cool. Then the MVP support card, Loup Garou, the New Moon. Again, he does not count for triggering Little Red's J-activate. All of your werewolves, when he's on the board, including himself, gain swiftness. So that's pretty amazing. He's a 3-drop, by the way. And whenever a werewolf attacks, Loup Garou does an extra 100 damage to your opponent. So just continual burn on your opponent's life while you're playing. And that's per Loup Garou. So if you have 2 Loup Garous, it's gonna be 200 damage because of each trigger. But then if you control a moon, then Loup Garou deals 200 damage instead. So imagine having 3 Loup Garous and a moon and a full board. Every time you swing in, your opponent's gonna take 600 damage regardless of what happens in the battle. Like that's crazy, and is really cool for like whittling down your opponent. Then we run 4 Commander of Wolves. This is kind of your big spot removal. 4 drop, but can be played with only 1 red, so that's pretty cool. When he enters, he counts all the werewolves you control, including himself, and does 400 damage to something. That's crazy. If you have 2 other wolves on the board, you're gonna deal 1200 damage to 1 Resonator on board. That's like instant removal for pretty much anything. So that's a really cool card for wolves to be able to use and just kind of clear the board out. And then, not technically a werewolf, but I mean, I guess, Little Dread. I use this card just as kind of an extra support card and for the awakening abilities, just to be able to pump something up, do spot removal by reducing its attack, or stealing my opponent's Resonators for the turn with her second awakening ability. It's just nuts. So you can pay 1 red and give something plus 600, minus 600, so plus 600 attack, minus 600 defense, or you can pay an awakening of 1 red, 1 colorless, recover a Resonator, take control of it until the end of the turn, and give it swiftness. You can play both, so you can play her for 6 and get all of those abilities. That's really cool. I've done it before. I've taken a Hamlin and made it a 1600 Hamlin for my opponent and just swung in. Yeah, that's pretty effective. And I just like kind of splashing that card in there. And then the flying part is Pumpkin Witch. People don't see it coming. I have a board state. They're managing up a board state to try and defend themselves from the block. I know I have enough damage to do game, so I just play Pumpkin Witch, and hey look, all of my stuff has flying. Doesn't matter that you have a board presence, I'm gonna kill you anyway. So it comes out of nowhere, people really don't expect it. I've had it happen to me a lot. It's a pretty interesting tech that I really enjoy, and it makes this deck really, really funny. And then onto the spells. There's just 3 different spells. We run 4 Thunders because we're a burn aggro deck and we're running red, so we might as well. And then the moons. We run 4 Bloody Moons because it does pump up werewolves and it does that cool extra spot removal of magic stones, which is nice. And then we run 2 of the Pale Moon just because we want more moon targets. And we do have the 1 Were-Rabbit, so we can give it some extra bonus. Just having more moons, and you can bounce a card with it if you have the extra blue, so that's pretty important for that key spot removal to clear a path for your wolves to get in there and finish the game. So yeah, that is it for Little Red Flying Werewolves, guys. Hope you enjoyed. As always, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget that as soon as the channel hits 150 subscribers, I'll be giving away a box of either Moon Priestess Returns or Castle of Heaven and the 2 Towers. That's the winner's choice. So go ahead and subscribe and share it out so we get to that milestone faster. Go ahead and like and comment down below about what you thought of this deck, what tweaks you would make, or what decks you guys want to see in the future. And as always, guys, this is DMO73 signing off.